or wealth. It is an established fact that money is one of the most essential resources. We often think of it as a materialistic approach to think of money as most valuable. Yet we can never ignore its importance in our everyday life. There are many people who think of money as insignificant, but unfortunately, we inhabit a planet where it is needed for every trade. Accepting and embracing the importance of wealth is essential to have a financially stable life and future. We should never underestimate the power of wealth, as it is our pathway to having a lifestyle that we desire, and which is crucial for a happy life. Even if we do not desire to attain an extravagant lifestyle, yet we would need money to have an optimum lifestyle for ourselves and our family. As George Lorimer puts it, it's good to have money and the things that money can buy. But it's good too to check up once in a while and make sure that you haven't lost the things that money can't buy. Hence, attaining a balance between wealth and other sources such as health, skills, etc. is the main aim of life. Often, we forget ourselves and everything else in our life in the process of gathering wealth and assets for ourselves. While the grind should never stop, it should not entirely take over our life. Wealth is beneficial only if it contributes to the overall sustainability of life. If we have it at the expense of losing our health, family life, and happiness, then it is not where our wealth commands us. We are poor indeed. Edmund Burke. Support of health. In our previous sections, we discussed how crucial health is for our happiness and success. Wealth is the main supporter of a healthy lifestyle, as it provides the freedom to avail healthy options and uses the available fitness and health choices. If we look in the market, healthier food choices are more expensive than unhealthier ones. If we want to take our health seriously, then fitness equipment and gym memberships are the price that we need to pay. In this case, the lack of wealth leads to limited access to the essential health resources. Unfortunate health issues are a part of life. Everyone has to face it at some point in their life. If we want to ensure the best health facilities for ourselves and our family, money is our main source. The first step to preparing for unfortunate circumstances is to eliminate any chances of a financial strain occurring in such situations. Accidents and diseases are a cause of stress and anxiety due to the uncertainty. In such situations, financial hurdles can add to the stress. Not all health insurances cover each expense of treatment. In these circumstances, people with enough wealth do not have to worry about the expenses of medication, treatment, and travel. Money can become a major limitation for people with a lack of it. Hence, wealth is a safety measure that is vital for a healthy lifestyle. Education. Education is a helpful tool in leading a successful and meaningful life. Where education can provide us with formal training for acquiring essential skills, it also gives us the skill to understand life better. It enables us to play an important role in every area of life. It gives us the ability to control our own life. With education comes the awareness, which is a necessary asset. Acquiring good education is dependent on having the resources to invest in it. When it comes to education, financial limitations become a great hurdle for people across the globe. Attending good colleges can become a massive financial burden, as it can incur debt on students taking students' loans. Wealth not only supports our own growth and development, it is also needed for our children's education and their development. Happiness. It is a very common phrase that money cannot buy happiness. While it is true, because happiness depends on many factors, but we should not forget that money is one of these factors. In today's capitalist society, everything is a trade, and wealth is the currency for that. For any service, any item, any educational resource, or anything, we need to pay an amount. Hence, for having a lifestyle that sustains our happiness, we need to have the resources to buy the things that we need. The goal should not be to have an extravagant lifestyle. Rather, the main aim of wealth building should be to have the lifestyle that one desires, and which leads to fulfillment, helping others. A philanthropic mindset also comes with a cost. To be able to help others, we must first learn to help ourselves. Poverty and hunger are some of the main global issues which are born due to the lack of financial resources. If we want to help people in fighting these problems, we need to provide them with these resources to cover the gap. Wealth becomes an indispensable tool when it comes to helping people and solving some of the major world problems. Money gives us the ability to give back to our community and help others in having better lives. Hence, wealth is a helpful resource with which we can make life better, happier for people around us. Helping others adds to our sense of purpose and turns us into a responsible family member as well as a citizen. Healthy retirement. Wealth building is an important part of life as it not only ensures a happy life for the present but also ensures our future life. Everyone has to lead their careers and business ventures at some point in their life. We all get tired and deserve the time to relax. Earning enough money while we have the time and energy can give us a stress-free life after retirement. Wealth creation. People are always looking for easy ways to earn money, but like every big thing in life, wealth creation is not an easy and quick process. Not only doing our jobs and earning well is what is crucial, rather planning and investing money is also vital. Here is a formula that can simplify the understanding of wealth creation for us. W equals P plus S plus I plus C. W equals wealth. P equals plan. S equals save. I equals invest. C equals compound. In this highly competitive world, wealth creation appears to be a highly complex task which can only be accomplished by extraordinary people. It is not true. Jim Rohn, a well-known entrepreneur and motivational speaker, describes the difference between rich and poor as follows. The philosophy of the rich versus the philosophy of the poor is this. The rich invest their money and spend what is left. The poor spend their money and invest what is left. Wealthy mindset. The first step to becoming wealthy is developing a wealthy mindset. With only the right approach and thinking, we can become successful and financially accomplished. A wealthy mindset believes in the following three things. Becoming wealthy is attainable and feasible. Attaining wealth is feasible for you. It is not materialistic to strive for money or to have money. 80% of the millionaires are self-made, which means that they struggled on their own and planned their goals wisely. Most of them did not go to college, but they made the right choices that could compensate for the loss. When we want to learn a new skill, what is our first instinct? We try to get mentoring from an expert of that field. Similarly, if we want to develop a wealthy mindset, we need to connect with people who have gone through a similar struggle as us. We should study the lives and stories of wealthy people, understand how they shape their thinking. Discover your talents and gifts. Once we start believing that we can attain wealth, we need to find out the special talents or gifts that we have. We can monetize these talents. Wealth creation is all about making constant progress and developing our skills. In the modern world, there is a great demand of highly skilled people. Once we identify our unique gift, we should work on improving it constantly such that it turns into our greatest asset. In this way, wealth creation is not solely a revenue-generating task, but it works in sync with our personal and professional growth and development. Written goals. At the onset of every journey, having specified and clear goals is a key step. Our financial future highly depends on how we plan our struggle and aims. Once we have identified our skills, we need to set up benchmarks. Having a written plan helps in achieving clarity and self-discipline, which is essential for becoming successful. A study done at Yale University in 1953 proved that the 3% students who had written their goals were worth more than other 97% students when the researchers went back to the participants after 30 years. These results clearly show the distinction between the success rate of people who have specified goals written down and the people who do not have their plans jotted down. Writing down our goals puts things in perspective. It cements our targets to our mind, consciously and subconsciously. One of the main benefits of writing is the option to revisit it frequently. We can make amendments and have a visual representation of how much progress we have made. Over time, people are not lazy. They simply have impotent goals, that is, goals that do not inspire them. Anthony Robbins. Be willing to take risks. In today's highly competitive world, we need to prove ourselves as extraordinary beings who can create value and an impact. Yet the road to excellence is not an easy one. It is a risky, bumpy road. A fixed mindset gives rise to fear and self-doubt where people are afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone. A success mindset is ready to take risks and makes mistakes because they are eager to learn from the setbacks to perform exceptionally well in the future. One of the main elements that composes a wealth mindset is the willingness to take risks. When we are in the process of creating wealth, we are offered several opportunities to earn and invest. Even when we try our best to minimize the losses, nothing can ensure a 100% success rate. and a high return on investment. Still, the only people who succeed are the ones who take risks during the process. They all have to face failures and losses, but their success mindset keeps them going. Wealth creation is all about investing in the right opportunities. It is not only the monetary investment which counts, but it is also the time and energy invested. Robert Kiyosaki said, "Savers are losers, investors are winners." We ought to get comfortable with the discomfort of taking risks. Nervousness and excitement are the same reactions in the brain. So, when we feel nervous about a decision, we should tell ourselves that we feel excited about making that choice. It is important to make rational decisions. But once we have moved on from the process of thinking, and it is the time to make our final choice, we should go with our intuition with a leap of faith. Acquire financial education. During our formal education, we are prepared for getting employed in an industrial age. We are not familiarized with financial concepts, and most of us grow up without the essential financial education. Financial education can be simply described as the ability to comprehend how money works, and it involves the art of managing and investing money. It teaches us to make sound financial decisions, that we remain financially stable. Financial education is essential for financial inclusion as it highlights the significance of services like banking and insurance for everyone. It minimizes the chances of people facing losses and financial frauds that people encounter due to a lack of understanding of these matters. Even if we're not related to the field of finance, an understanding of financial concepts can help us in our everyday life to make sound choices. While our education curriculum usually does not focus on this aspect, we can acquire financial education through various resources available such as books. Here are the 5 best books as suggested by Lori Konish, who is a reporter covering personal finance at CNBC. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. The Only Investment Guide You'll Ever Need by Andrew Tobias. The Boglehead's Guide to Investing by John C. Bogle. The Opposite of Spoiled. Raising Kids Who Are Grounded, Generous, and Smart About Money by Ron Lieber. Fierce Conversations. Achieving Success at Work and in Life One Conversation at a Time by Susan Scott. Identify the Target Market. For every skill, there is a different type of target audience and target market. For our unique skill, we need to identify the target market and understand its trends. Our net worth is directly linked to our network. People are only willing to pay for value creation. Discovering our target market where we can create value can help in wealth creation. Once we know our target market, we must make connections and expand our network in the specific area. We need to get in contact with the experts and influential professionals of our field of interest. Even when we want to be known for our skill, we first need to be known for who we are. We need to get out there, meet new people. The more people and professionals we will know, the more leads we will have for our business/service. A greater number of connections create a greater opportunity for growth. It can help us in having assistance from experts in the fields who have gone through the same grind. Surrounding ourselves with people having similar goals keeps us motivated and constantly inspired. Our own thinking is limited. We can only expand it through exposure to people who have achieved their goals. Our performance is dictated by the company that we surround ourselves with. Networking is essential to perform extraordinarily. Develop a product/service. Our service can be a skill or a product. To sell anything, we first need to develop it into a proper product to carve a niche for it. To differentiate our product from other similar solutions in the market, we need to develop a unique selling point that we can advertise. Hence, learning to sell is an essential skill no matter what we are selling. Daniel Pink in his book To Sell is Human talks about how most our interactions involve persuading people. He shares 2 of the main sales skills that no one can do without. These skills are attunement and clarity. Whenever we are explaining or promoting our product, we need to hit the right chords by understanding the other's perspective. Our sales pitch should give the audience or potential customer the clarity about why would they need to have our product. Hence, we should develop our product around our understanding of the target market. When we are selling a product, we need to convey its value to the customer. We should ask ourselves the following 2 questions before giving our sales pitch to someone. If the person buys the product, will their life improve? If yes, then how? Will the world be a better place after the interaction is over? Work on your own product. Lily Tomlin is a famous American actress who said, "The trouble with being in the rat race is that even if you win, you are still a rat." Similarly, in today's market, there is a constant race for having the best job out there. The problem with working as an employee is that we keep on working for someone else's business and our income constantly depends on our active work. The idea is not to quit jobs, but having a side business or product of our own can increase our sources of income. We will not have to depend on our wages for wealth creation, but we will have a means to create passive income. It can be done by either becoming a business owner or an investor. It will give us a sense of ownership as well as long-term financial security. In addition to this, it is a chance to step out of the rat race and build something of our own that can be a reliable asset for the future. Be patient. The process of wealth creation requires us to be patient. We might not get quick returns on investments. We might feel overwhelmed by the fear of failure. We need to remember that patience and resilience is the key to success. The bigger the goal, the longer it can take to reach the destination. People desire to see their savings piling up quickly, and they dream of becoming rich in a heartbeat. Wealth is one of the essentials of a happy life. It is not the ultimate recipe. Focusing on other areas of life is utterly necessary when we are busy in the process of creating wealth. We should make sure that we create value for others while we create wealth for ourselves to avoid the vacuum of meaningless at the end of it all. Wealth management. Wealth management refers to the financial planning and investment management to ensure financial security for the present and the future needs of a person and their family. It is a holistic approach to maintain wealth and manage it to reach specific financial goals. Smart wealth management plays a vital role in growing wealth and becoming financially stable. When we set financial goals for ourselves, it is essential that we keep on reviewing them and observing the progress to achieve success. Given are the few ways that they can help us in effective wealth management. Budget analysis. Self-discipline is a stepping stone for success. Once we learn to organize different aspects of our life, either it is our daily schedule or our budget, we achieve clarity and a constant source of motivation. When it comes to wealth, a budget is necessary for constant growth. Writing down our goals requires us to have a carved-out plan for managing our finances. We must work on our budget and analyze where and how we are spending our money. We should list down the essential and non-essential expenditures so that we can save the money that is being spent on unnecessary items and services. Often people ignore the budget by thinking of it as a time waste, but the most successful and wealthy people always run a budget analysis. Once we start budgeting, we begin to observe many positive changes in our spending habits. It helps us in uncovering any hidden cash flow problems that were becoming a hurdle in our savings. It enables us to keep track of our expenditures and our financial goals. We can hold ourselves accountable in case of any deviations from the designed budget. Following are the few ways that we can effectively make a budget and analyze it. Record the sources of income. Before we get into the business of creating a budget, we first need to have a record of our income. Record the total income, including the monthly paycheck or any other passive income. It will give us a clear picture of how much money we can spend and how much we can save. Creating a budget. The hardest part is sitting down and pushing ourselves to write down a budget. It is a difficult task because we never have accurate data on how much money we are going to need. We can start by making a budget for a week by using our rough estimates, and after a week, we can use the data to create a budget for a month. While forming a budget, we must keep the holidays and festivals in mind. Every month is different, packed with different occasions and activities that can have a distinct impact on our expenditures. We must consider it while calculating our monthly expenses. Creating categories. Firstly, we must list all the possible expected expenditures. These expenditures can include the fee, petrol expenses, mortgage payments, and everything else. Once we have a master list of the expenses, we can then divide them into fixed and variable expenditures. The former refers to the spending trends which remain almost the same every month, such as rents, fee, loan payments, etc., whereas the latter can be described as the expenses that change every month, such as groceries, eating out, entertainment, etc. Compare the income and expenses. If our planned expenses end up exceeding our income, then we really need to make some serious adjustments. In case of them being equal, we should still look for opportunities to cut down some expenses so that we can save some of the money each month. Savings. At every point in life, we feel like we are not yet ready to save. When we are beginning our career, we hope for having more opportunities in the future. When we reach the peak, we think of all our responsibilities and how we cannot limit our expenditures. In this way, we keep on ignoring the idea of saving. It is not a smart choice to make. There will be no convenient time to save. It is a now or never choice that we need to make as soon as we start earning. One of the main rules of wealth management is saving up any extra money that we have. If we have a monthly source of income, then we can plan our month and save up a chunk of our income. We should think of it as an investment for our future goals. Save early and often, and never stop, said Matthews, managing director of Blueprint, a financial planning firm. Many of those who are wealthy today started saving small amounts of money and kept saving throughout the ups and downs of their careers and lives. Create an estate. Once we start saving, we should never ever spend our savings. Making the right investments with our savings is beneficial because investing is not equal to spending. Often people save up to buy luxury items that do not have any returns on the investment made. We can turn our savings into a stable passive source of income for ourselves and our family by building an estate. Anyone who saves up to 10% of their income consistently and makes smart investment choices can build an estate of their own. It is a two-way street. The more money is put aside and invested, the higher the returns are. Making the right investments. One of the common traits in millionaires is that they invest in opportunities. An investment strategy is one of the important pillars of wealth creation and wealth management. Once we have our goals written down and we start saving, it is essential that we make smart choices while investing. Given as the wish list of the perfect attributes for an ideal investment, we can think along these lines while making a decision. High capital growth, security, low maintenance, tax effective, income producing, protection against inflation, finance effective. If we want our investment to work for us with high returns, then we should look for these attributes in the opportunities that come our way. These attributes are achievable and negotiable as not every option will cover all of these, but we have to choose wisely depending on our demands and needs. Diversification of investments is also a smart way to grow wealth, as we would not be putting all our eggs in one basket. Every investment sector has its good times and bad times. Hence, we should not be taking a chance by relying on only a single investment vehicle. Spreading our wealth across main asset classes such as property, shares, gold, etc., can minimize the impact of a downturn in any one of the sectors. Avoid credit bills. We must always try to pay in cash in order to avoid credit card debt. When we limit ourselves to spending only the money that we have, we learn to stick to what we can afford. Using a credit card seems tempting when our eyes land on something that we cannot afford. In such situations, we need to remind ourselves of our long-term financial goals. Sticking to our monthly budget has to be our top priority, and making unnecessary credit card payment can disrupt our budget, causing an imbalance in the cash flow. Financial management apps. Extremely wealthy and successful people hire professionals for managing their wealth constantly to avoid any losses. While we run budget analysis on our own, we can also take help of technological advancements. There are many great financial management apps available which can make our life easier. These apps are extremely helpful in formulating a budget and then keeping track of the expenses. These apps provide a weekly and monthly analysis of our spending so that we can achieve our short-term and long-term financial goals. Personal capital. It helps in keeping track of the budget while it also enables the users to include information about their investment accounts. It is compatible with phone, desktop, and tablet. It also gives an overview of the accounts, income, and expenditures in graphical form. Mint.com. Mint.com is perfect for the users who want to create detailed budgets as it allows to create as many categories as needed. It can be linked to the bank account and credit cards. It can directly access the transactions made, including them in the budget. It analyzes the user's spending habits and gives an overview so that improvements can be made. Pocket Guard. This app is useful for finding ways to save money from our expenses. It can be synced to our accounts, and then it analyzes our income and spending. It can be used for making a better budget for the future to save money in the long run. The Albert. Dollarbird puts our budget into the calendar form and reminds us of any upcoming expenses or deadlines to pay bills. Transactions can be color-coded on the basis of categories such as recurring bills or variable expenses. Spendy, while all the other apps are for personal financial management, Spendy help in managing a budget with our friends and family. It can keep track of the shared expenses for a household budget. It can import the bank transactions directly and analyze how the total household income is being spent. The bill tracker functionality sets up a reminder for the users to make sure that they pay all their bills. Skills.